everyone, my name is Xenia and today I'm going to be talking about wrestlers that I've somehow upset. I just want to preface this by saying that I have never tried to upset a person on purpose. I hate conflict, I'm a very friendly, nice person. I'm particularly nice and respectful to wrestlers because these people put their bodies on the line for our entertainment. So there's no reason in the world for me to be mean to a wrestler just out of spite. So just let me go there and say that I've never been mean to a wrestler in my entire life. But, there's always a but, things happen, listen, things happen. Things that are kind of sort of beyond my control. So I'm going to tell you 3 stories about how I somehow managed to upset wrestlers. And what's even more painful about this topic is that all the 3 wrestlers are my favorite wrestlers. I'll start with a story that's not quite hard-hitting, but the 3rd story is the worst. And I feel like I've decided to keep it till the end, not because I want you to stick around till the end of the video, but more like because I want to procrastinate talking about it for as long as I can. But yeah, let's start. The first story is about wrestling Twitter. Wrestling Twitter. And I, again, am not one of those people who are blocked by a lot of wrestlers who have a blocked by list that they whip out when they want to brag about it for whatever reason. Because I am never rude to wrestlers. And if there's a joke that I want to make that is half mean, I just don't say it because I don't want a wrestler to block me. So as a result, there's just one wrestler that has been blocked on Twitter. And that wrestler is Maryse, the wife of my absolute all-time favorite wrestler. How ironic is that? But yeah, I love her a lot and I've never been rude to her. It was circa 2011, 12, I don't remember. But what I do remember is that around that time, the movie Christmas Bounty starring The Miz was just being released. I, to this day, have no idea exactly why she blocked me, but I have 2 theories. Hey, what's up, you guys? Yes. Theory number 1. I replied to her tweet where she tweeted a picture of their dog taken with a flash. And I replied in a very polite manner, hey, cute dog, great picture, but you are not supposed to take pictures of your dogs with flash because it hurts their eyes. Which maybe if she was having a bad day and people were getting on her nerves that day, she might have seen that tweet and decided to block me. Theory number 2 is a little bit more exciting. As I have already said, it was the year that the movie Christmas Bounty was releasing. And Miz was conducting some sort of a contest on Twitter where you were supposed to make an edit of him or of like a frame from the movie, and he would pick a winner every day for maybe a week, and then he would pick the ultimate winner out of all those winners, and that person would receive an autographed DVD. I of course participated, and don't even get me started on that contest. I was so pissed that people who used these like online picture manipulators kept on winning. You know the site that you go on and you upload a picture and it puts it on like a billboard on the street or something? They kept winning. It's just so ridiculous because it just takes 2 clicks. But I, for my entry, of course, I had to go there. I made a comic strip that if I'll find, I'll insert somewhere in the video so that you can see. I made a comic strip starring myself about how all the Christmas movies are boring and that's why I'm not feeling the Christmas spirit. And then Super Miz comes along, shoots this perfect Christmas movie, and we're all saved and jolly and happy and blah blah blah, you get it. And he picked me as one of the winners. I didn't become the ultimate winner, as I had already said. Someone who ended up receiving that DVD was someone who just made it in 2 clicks. But I did become a winner of one of the days, which was, by the way, the only time that The Miz, my absolute favorite wrestler, noticed me on social media. The only time, that's it. Throughout this whole like 10 years of me being a fan. Which I'm not complaining, please don't make it out like I'm whining and crying about that. He's got a wife and a kid and he's got a life to live, it's all okay, we're good. But yeah, as I said, in this comic strip I had pictures of myself wearing his merch, wearing a tank top with the Haters Wanted logo. And maybe Maryse saw that and maybe she found it inappropriate, but I know this theory sounds kind of far-fetched, but I really don't know what to think. So it's either that she blocked me because I pointed out a certain health risk for her dog, or that. So yeah, that's that. I'm not the kind of person that would go like creating accounts and asking her to unblock me, but it would be really nice if she did. The second story, again, surprisingly enough, also has to do with Miz. And I think it's not that I've upset him, but more like I made him feel weird. Or at least I hope so, because I really wouldn't want to upset my favorite wrestler. It was my first live WWE experience when WWE came to Russia, and prior to that, Miz actually came to Russia with a signing to promote that event. It was in March 2012. At that time, I'd been a fan for about 5 years, and it was my first real encounter with WWE. Needless to say, I was ecstatic. When I saw his tweet about the fact that he will be having a sign in Moscow, I burst out in tears. But yeah, anyway, I went to the signing, of course. While I was standing in line waiting, I was like staring at him. When I started coming closer to the front of the line, I started crying because I was so emotional. And it's not like I was sobbing, it wasn't like ugly crying, it wasn't something that would make you super uncomfortable. But it wasn't just like one tear streaming down my face either. I was visibly, distinguishably crying. And as I was coming closer to the front of the line, he was like looking through the crowd before the next person approached him, and our eyes kind of met, and he's looking at me like that, and I tried to smile, which I now realize would probably be some sort of weird wet with tears scowl, and I tried to smile, and he went like and looked away. It was so awkward, and after that I had to come up and meet him. And of course, when my turn came, I collected myself, I wiped my crocodile tears away, and I was looking / feeling more presentable. But yeah, that was kind of awkward. It's weird to think that my absolute favorite wrestler during my absolute first encounter with the thing that I've loved so much almost my entire conscious life thought that I was a crying weird mess. And the last and not least story is something that I hate to talk about, and I don't think I've talked about that a lot to anyone, even to my IRL friends, because it's just so awkward. And it has to do with CM Punk. He's always been one of my all-time favorites, and I still respect him and admire him a lot. But I have always been kind of intimidated by him. I met him once and I kind of ran into him once as well, and I made a video about that. You can watch it, I'll insert a card or something. And I've always been like very conscious of what I like say to him or about him, because there have been a lot of stories about him being mean to people who ran into him, and about him like throwing whole rage fest about people selling his autographs, which is fair. And I fully realized that the way that he chooses to convey his emotions and to draw his boundaries is a part of who he is as a person, and by no means am I trying to hold it against him, because that's one of the reasons why we love him and admire him, because he is the way that he is. So I'm not trying to be bitter here, okay? Point is, I'm a bit scared of the dude. And this happened in 2013 during the WrestleMania Access. There was a VIP signing that he did, and I was there with my dad, and as we were standing in the line, I saw that Punk was signing autographs at a table, and I just kind of told my dad, oh, I wish it was like more of a photo op opportunity, I wish he was standing up, I wish I could have gotten a better picture. I said that and forgot about it, and then when our turn came, my dad went before me. When it comes to CM Punk, who is pretty easy to upset, that wasn't the right choice, because my dad doesn't take pictures with wrestlers because he doesn't really want a picture, and he's mostly there to accompany me, yada yada, so he like just goes through basically. But my dad took what I said literally, and he comes up to CM Punk, this intimidating guy that I'm scared of. He told me that afterwards, by the way. He goes like, oh, we went such a long way from Russia, and here's my daughter, and she's a big fan, like, could you stand up for a picture with her? Which is very awkward, because there's this like huge table, and it's obviously like not a great thing to do, and why would he do that? And there's a huge line. If he were to stand up for everyone, it would just get into a whole mess. But yeah, and Punk goes very grumpy and very like hostile about it, which again, fair enough. And he's like, no, I don't think so. And I'm standing there waiting for my turn, and I see that something's wrong there. I can't hear what they're saying, but I can see that Punk is like declining something. So when I come up, it's very awkward. I like shake his hand, say this like staple phrase that I'm a huge fan. We take the picture, in which we both look like it's the worst day of our lives. And yeah, that's that. I think it might have sounded less embarrassing out loud than it was in my head, but it was very embarrassing. I feel like it's a healthy practice almost for me to say it out loud, to tell the world about that, to tell you guys. So yeah, consider this video a public apology. Thank you guys so much for watching. Give this video a like if you had a good time. Subscribe and find me on my social media. I'm at XeniaRocks on almost any platform. Goodbye.